Become his irreplaceable priority in 10 proven steps. What if I told you that the reason you're not his priority is all about how you show up in the relationship? Have you ever felt like you're doing everything possible, bending over backward to make him happy, yet you're still treated like an afterthought? And you're left thinking, what am I doing wrong? You're definitely not alone. So many women find themselves caught in this cycle, putting all their energy into something that never changes. Here's the truth. The problem isn't that you're not enough. It's that your approach needs a complete makeover. High-value women are often taught to be accommodating, sweet, and always available to win someone over. But here's the twist. That strategy is actually wrecking your chances. By chasing his attention nonstop, you're accidentally telling him that your time, energy, and emotions are his to overlook. But what if you could turn things around? What if you could grab his attention in such a way that he prioritizes you, not because you're demanding it, but because he genuinely sees you as irreplaceable? The key is tapping into an ancient mindset that has lasted through the ages: Stoicism. More specifically, think of it as dark Stoic psychology, the art of mastering your emotions, creating scarcity, and commanding respect. This isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone else. It's about uncovering a version of yourself that radiates confidence, high value, and independence. If you're done being just another choice, stick around, because what you're about to learn could change everything. Let's jump into the first step of becoming his priority. Remember, this isn't a quick fix. It's a journey into mastering yourself and the dynamics of attraction. Step 1. Harness the strength of emotional self-reliance. Have you ever felt like his moods and decisions can turn your whole day upside down? He cancels plans and suddenly you're in a tailspin. He sends a cryptic text and now you're analyzing every word as if it's a riddle to solve. Let me ask you this. How much control are you handing over to him when it comes to your feelings? The truth is, high-value women know how to keep their emotional balance no matter what goes down. What if you met someone who's super sensitive, always begging for approval or melting down over every little snag? Not exactly appealing, right? Emotional self-reliance isn't just a nice to have. It's vital if you want to change the game and be the leading lady in his life. Here's the cold, hard truth. When a guy figures out he can easily mess with your emotions, respect goes out the window. It's not about him trying to mess with you. It's just human nature. People admire those who keep it cool, especially when the going gets tough. Emotional self-reliance doesn't mean you're cold-hearted. It just means you don't flip out over every bump in the road. It means you won't let his actions be the puppet master of your emotions. Imagine this. You've been messaging him all day, and poof, he stops responding. Most high-value women would freak out, bombarding him with more text or stressing about why he went silent, but that's not you. You roll with it and keep living your fabulous life. You've got plans, goals, and your day doesn't fall apart if he ghosted you for a bit. See how powerful that approach is? By mastering emotional self-reliance, you're sending a message. You're not easily shaken. You're wrapping yourself in mystery and strength, a vibe that's impossible to ignore. And here's the kicker. The less his actions get to you, the more he wants to be in your orbit. It's a crazy paradox, but it works like magic. But let's dig deeper. Emotional self-reliance isn't just about how you respond to him. It's about how you treat yourself. Are you chasing down your personal goals? Are you taking your mental and emotional well-being seriously? Are you living a life that's exciting with or without him in the picture? If your answer is no, it's time for a switch up. Focus on creating a life you love on your own terms, and you'll naturally need less validation from him. This change isn't just game-changing for him, but eye-opening for yourself as well. You start glowing with confidence, and trust me, that's what makes you magnetic. So how do you kick this off? Start by setting small, realistic goals that are all about you, unrelated to him. Maybe it's working towards a new fitness level, diving into a creative outlet, or aiming for a new career goal. As you reach these milestones, you gain a sense of achievement that's yours alone, and that's the core of true emotional self-reliance. A key part of this journey is dealing with rejection smoothly. Yep, rejection's gonna happen, but it shouldn't own you. Use it as a stepping stone for growth. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? That kind of introspection is central to strengthening your core through challenges. Ultimately, emotional self-reliance is about reclaiming your control. It's about shifting your attention from what he's doing to how you're shining. When you're solid in yourself, you're not just an option. You're the woman he can't imagine losing. Ready to take back the reins of your emotions and evolve into the woman who's unforgettable? This is just the start. Let's move forward and explore what's next in becoming his main focus. Step 2. Set boundaries that demand respect. Have you ever felt like he's testing your limits, seeing just how much you'll tolerate? Maybe he flakes on plans last minute or only texts when it suits him. Here's the truth. Boundaries aren't about controlling him. They're about respecting yourself enough to communicate what you deserve. Think about it. When you let someone treat you however they want, what message are you sending? You're silently saying, I'm okay with this, but deep down, you're not. You're hurt, frustrated, questioning why he doesn't prioritize you. The answer is simple. People value what they're afraid to lose, and boundaries are how you show that you value yourself enough to walk away if they aren't respected. Let's be real. Setting boundaries can feel intimidating. You might worry, what if he pulls away? What if I seem too demanding? But here's the twist. It's the exact opposite. Boundaries aren't about distancing him. They're about drawing him closer by earning his respect. Picture this. He texts you at 11 p.m. asking to hang out. You've had a long day, and while part of you wants to see him, you know it's not what you truly want. So instead of saying yes, you reply, I've settled in for the night, but let's plan something for tomorrow. What just happened? You've drawn a line. You've shown him that your time is valuable, and most importantly, communicated that you won't always be available at his convenience. And let me tell you, high-value men respect high-value women who respect themselves. Boundaries aren't just about reacting to his behavior, they're about setting the tone for the relationship. If he's keeping it casual while expecting your full attention, it's time for some real talk. Try saying, I'm looking for something serious. I'm not interested in being one of many. If we're not on the same page, that's okay, but I need to step back. Does this feel bold? Good. That's the point. By setting this boundary, you're making it clear that you won't settle for anything less than what you deserve. And here's the magic. When a man realizes you're ready to walk away, he'll either step up to meet your standards or show he was never serious. Either way, you win. Let me ask you this. What's the worst that could happen if you set a boundary? He might not love it. He might even test it. But the best case? He realizes your worth and starts putting you first because he knows you won't be an afterthought. Boundaries aren't just for relationships, they're for every area of your life. Do you overcommit at work, take on too much, and neglect your well-being? Do friends or family overstep, sapping your energy and leaving you feeling resentful? How you handle boundaries at work or with family is often how you handle them in relationships too. Here's the challenge. Start small. Identify one area of your life where you feel stretched too thin and set a boundary. It might feel uncomfortable, but each time you enforce it, you're affirming your self-worth. The beauty of boundaries, they don't need drama. A simple, calm statement like, I can't commit to that right now, or this doesn't work for me, is enough. The key is consistency. Set a boundary, but be consistent in enforcing it. Over time, people will learn to respect your limits. Here's a little secret. Boundaries lie at the heart of mastering your time, energy, and emotions. When you set boundaries, you take control of your life instead of allowing external circumstances to dictate your happiness. It's a game changer, not just in relationships, but in every aspect of your journey. So are you ready to start setting boundaries that demand respect? Imagine how liberating it will feel to stop overgiving and start getting the treatment you truly deserve. It's not about being mean or manipulative. It's about being clear, confident, and authentic. Before we jump to the next part, I want to hear from you. If you're loving this advice so far, give this video a thumbs up and drop a 1 in the comments. Your support is what keeps this platform thriving, allowing us to bring you more empowering content. Don't forget to subscribe and become part of a community of high-value women ready to take charge of their lives and relationships. You won't want to miss what's next. Let's dive into the next step. You won't believe how it's going to change everything. Step 3. Prioritize your dreams and interests. When was the last time you did something just for you? Not for him, not for anyone else, but purely you. If you're struggling to recall, it's time to reshift your mindset. One of the most magnetic qualities you can embody is living a life that's thrilling, rich, and meaningful. A life where you're the main star, not just an extra in someone else's story. Here's something you may not realize about men. They find women with their own sense of purpose irresistible. Why? Because it signals confidence, independence, and depth. A high-value woman passionate about her goals and interests isn't just attractive, she's unforgettable. Let's be honest. It's so easy to fall into the trap of revolving your world around a relationship. Maybe you've ditched plans with friends or pushed aside your hobbies just to be more available for him. But here's the kicker. By making him your entire world, you risk losing his attention. Why? Because you cease to be that dynamic, multifaceted individual that originally caught his eye. Men are taken in by mystery and intricacy. They're drawn to high-value women who have ambition, drive, and are unapologetically themselves. When you're going after your dreams, you're not just preoccupied, you're magnetic, exuding a genuine confidence that comes from truly knowing who you are and what you want. So what does this look like in real life? It begins with reclaiming your time. Jot down the things you've pushed aside, whether they revolve around career aspirations, creative outlets, or even embarking on a fitness quest. Then make small strides to reignite those areas of your life. It doesn't need to be monumental. Maybe sign up for that class you've been curious about, or finally kick off that side project you've been dreaming of. Whatever it is, make it a priority. When you dive deeply into your own growth, something amazing occurs. You stop needing him to fill every emotional void. Your life becomes fulfilling, making his constant validation unnecessary. That level of independence is captivating. Let's flip this for a second. Picture a guy who spends all day messaging you, drops his plans at a moment's notice just to be available for you. Initially, it might feel flattering, but over time, you likely lose respect and perhaps even feel stifled. The same truth goes in reverse. Men respect high-value women who respect their own time and priorities. But let's not just scratch the surface. This concept isn't just about staying busy. It's about discovering the why, the deeper drive pushing you forward. Are you chasing something that lights you up? Do you wake up excited to pursue a vision that stretches beyond yourself? When you have a mission, you're unstoppable, and that energy radiates. This is where Stoicism and dark psychology come into play. Stoicism guides us to focus on what we can control, our actions, mindset, and growth. It's not about impressing him. It's about becoming the most excellent version of yourself. When you're aligned with your goals, relationship hiccups won't knock you down because you've built a self-worth foundation independent of anyone else. A powerful transformation happens when you embody this mindset. You become seen as more than someone waiting for his attention, but as a high-value woman living her life to the fullest. Suddenly, he's the one trying to fit into your world. He's adjusting his plans to line up with yours. Why? Because a woman on a mission is a woman he can't afford to lose. But this isn't just about him. It's about you claiming the aspects of yourself set aside for love or compromise, stepping into your power and seeing that your happiness doesn't tether itself to his approval. Think about the energy you're pouring into this relationship. Are you giving so much that you're ignoring your own needs? If yes, it's time to realign. When you prioritize your goals and passions, you're not just enriching your own life, you're setting a standard for how you deserve to be treated. This isn't about being selfish, it's about balance. Relationships flourish when both individuals bring their authentic selves to the table. By focusing on your own growth, you elevate not just yourself, but the entire relationship dynamic. You're showcasing that you're a partner worth building a future with, not just a bystander. So what's holding you back? What have you meant to pursue but kept postponing? Start today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Take that initial leap towards rediscovering your passions and watch how amazingly it transforms not just your relationship, but your entire sense of self. Step 4. Embrace the power of scarcity. Have you ever noticed how the things that are a little elusive seem far more enticing? It's just like our relationships. If something or someone is constantly in front of us, we tend to take them for granted. The concept of scarcity is all about value, and that principle definitely applies to you too. So let's get real here. Are you making yourself too available? Are you always bending over backward to fit him into your life? Do you reply to his messages at lightning speed or drop everything to hang out with him? Even if your intentions are pure, this constant availability could be sending a message you didn't mean to, that your time isn't as valuable as his. Here's a little truth bomb. Guys are naturally hardwired to enjoy the chase. They love a good challenge, and they're irresistibly drawn to what feels just a bit out of reach. When you're always around, you remove that layer of mystery and thrill that fuels their attraction. But when you pull back, even just a smidge, it creates a sort of scarcity that reignites his curiosity. He'll start to think, what's she up to? Why isn't she around anymore? And just like that, his desire for you grows. Creating scarcity doesn't mean you should start playing games or going radio silent. It's all about valuing your own time and energy. Show him you have an exciting, vibrant life that doesn't just revolve around him. When you're genuinely occupied with your goals, passions, and friends, scarcity naturally happens. You're not pretending to be unavailable. You truly have your own priorities. Picture this. He texts you with a last-minute plan to meet up. Instead of jumping to say yes, imagine replying with something like, I already have plans tonight, but let's pick a time that suits us both. In that moment, you're telling him that your time is precious. You're not a backup plan. You're someone worthy of being prioritized. But this scarcity thing isn't just about making yourself scarce. It's about keeping things intriguing. If he can read you like a book and knows your every step, where's the excitement? A bit of mystery keeps things electric. When he doesn't know all your moves and has to put in a little effort to figure out your world, that's when he gets invested. Here's where some savvy psychology comes into play. Instead of chasing his attention or seeking constant validation, focus on staying emotionally grounded in your own life. You're not being aloof, you're living a fulfilling life. He'll need to step up to earn his place in it. This simple shift in dynamics gives you back the control of the chase. And let's be honest, if you're always the one initiating or making plans, he never gets the chance to pursue you. By stepping back and allowing him to lead, you give him room to express his intentions. If he values you, he'll rise to the occasion. If he doesn't, well, then he wasn't really worth your time anyway. And so let's talk about balance. Creating scarcity isn't about shutting him out or acting uninterested. It's about finding that perfect blend where you're warm, engaging, and genuinely present, but not overly available. Striking this balance makes you incredibly irresistible. While you genuinely enjoy his company, your world doesn't spin around him, and that confidence is magnetic. Think about it. When were you last truly drawn to someone? Was it because they constantly pursued you or because they had this distinct independence and purpose that pulled you in? That's the kind of energy you want to embody. You're not holding back. You're simply showing that you're a high-value woman whose presence is something to be earned. Here's a little exercise for you. Next time he reaches out, pause before hitting send on that reply. Rather than instantly agreeing to his plans, think about what you want or have scheduled. If you genuinely have the time and want to see him, go ahead. But if you've got other plans or need a moment for yourself, honor that. You'll be teaching him to respect your priorities. Scarcity is not about playing games. It's about taking charge of your power. Recognizing your time, energy, and attention as the precious resources they are. When you embrace this mindset, you naturally command respect, admiration, and desire. Remember, being too accessible might make you predictable, but by creating a touch of scarcity, you keep him curious and captivated. You transition from being a convenient option to being the woman he's willing to make an effort for, and that's exactly the kind of dynamic you deserve. Step 5. Actions speak louder. Have you ever found yourself trying to convince someone over and over about how much you care, what you truly desire, or just how committed you are to making your relationship work? You think that if he could just grasp the depth of your care and how much you value him, he'd start to put you as a priority. But here's the reality. Words alone don't spark action. Actions do. If you're caught in the loop of endless explanations, you might actually be creating distance instead of closeness. Guys aren't really swayed by drawn-out talks about feelings or constant reassurances of your dedication. In fact, the more you talk about what you contribute, the less he might genuinely recognize it. Why? Because words can come and go, but actions leave a lasting mark. When your deeds reflect your values and essence as a high-value woman, you won't have to utter a single word. He'll see it, sense it, and act on it. So let's flip the narrative. Instead of just telling him how much he's appreciated, convey it through steady, assured actions. Instead of asking for his attention, show him through your behavior why you're someone worth that attention. When you let your actions lead rather than explanations, you're showcasing strength, independence, and authenticity. These are qualities that resonate with him on a much deeper level. Imagine this scenario. You've told him over a dozen times that you want him to step up his efforts. He nods in agreement, yet nothing shifts. Why? Because words lack urgency. But what if you did things differently? What if instead of repeating yourself, you drew back your energy? What if you started prioritizing your own needs, demonstrating through your actions that you deserve nothing but the best? All of a sudden, he's alert, realizing that if he doesn't step up, he might lose you. That's the transformative power of showing, not just telling. Think about the kind of person you're drawn to. Is it the one who chats about her aspirations but never takes the leap to pursue them, or the one who quietly goes after exactly what she wants, letting her accomplishments do the talking? The same goes for relationships. Men respect and are drawn to women who lead with action, not just words. But let's dive deeper. Demonstrating your value doesn't mean doing everything to prove yourself. It's about setting boundaries, valuing your time, and staying true to what you believe in. It's about declining what doesn't meet your standards and embracing only what's genuinely good for you. This quiet self-confidence is magnetic because it springs from self-respect. Consider this situation. He claims he's too busy to hang out, but somehow always has time for friends or other plans. Instead of complaining or trying to persuade him to make time, you just stop chasing. You step back from making plans and focus on yourself. He'll notice the change, and if he truly values you, he'll adjust his priorities. If he doesn't, then you've spared yourself from investing in someone unwilling to meet you halfway. This aligns perfectly with Stoic principles. Stoicism teaches us to regulate what we can, our actions and responses, while releasing what we can't control. Adopting this view means letting go of trying to change his behavior and instead focusing on how you show up. You become that steady, confident presence, leading by example and inspiring him to rise to your level. Let's make one thing clear. Showing your worth isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate him. It's about embodying the values you want to see in your relationship. It's about being the kind of partner you wish to attract. When your actions mirror your inner strength and self-worth, you won't just be an option in his life, you'll be the one he can't bear to lose. But let's tackle the fear. What if I pull back and he doesn't chase me? That's a fair concern, but here's the truth. If he doesn't respond to your actions, he was never genuinely committed to prioritizing you, and while that reality might sting momentarily, it's ultimately liberating. It frees you up to focus on someone who will truly value and appreciate what you bring to the table. So how do you start putting this into action? Begin by spotting the areas where your actions might not reflect your self-worth. Are you over-communicating your needs? Are you seeking out his attention when he isn't reciprocating? Once you identify these areas, commit to shifting your approach. Lead with action, not words, and watch how things change. If this insight resonates with you, go ahead and like this video and drop a yes in the comments below. Tell me how you're planning to apply these strategies in your own life. Don't forget to subscribe for more transformative insights on relationships and personal growth. Together, we'll continue this journey of becoming the high-value versions of ourselves. Let's keep this conversation rolling, and I'll catch you in the next step. Step 6. Turning rejection into a growth opportunity. Let's be real, rejection sucks. It cuts deep and leaves you wondering if you're worth anything. But what if I told you rejection isn't an enemy, but a powerful tool for growth and self-discovery? This mindset shift isn't just empowering, it's crucial for becoming a high-value woman. Here's the truth. Rejection doesn't define your value. It's more about compatibility, or the lack of it. Yet how many of us beat ourselves up thinking we weren't good enough, attractive enough, or worthy enough? But think about it. Have you ever turned someone down because they just didn't match up with what you wanted? Did it mean they lacked value? Of course not. The same goes for you. When a guy pulls away or says he's not ready for something serious, it's tempting to overanalyze everything. But here's the reality. His rejection is about his problems, not yours. If he fails to see your worth, that's on him. Rejection might actually be the universe pushing you towards something better, but only if you're open to seeing it. Instead of letting rejection tear you down, see what you can learn. Ask yourself honest questions. Were there warning signs I missed? Did I put too much energy into someone not giving back? When you treat rejection with curiosity instead of criticism, you start to see it as feedback. Maybe it's highlighting areas where you need stronger boundaries or showing the importance of aligning values with high-value qualities. Rejection is a chance to reflect and grow. Stoicism offers a valuable lesson here. While you can't control getting rejected, you can control your response. Instead of letting it defeat you, let it make you stronger. Face the pain, but let it build your resilience. Try this. The next time you face rejection, jot down 3 things you learned. It might teach you that you deserve someone more open, or that your self-worth is more important than someone else's approval. These insights are golden and lay the groundwork for a stronger, more resilient you. Now, let's tackle the fear of rejection. It's natural to avoid situations where you might get turned down, but the catch is, the more you fear it, the more it controls you. By embracing rejection as a necessary life step, you lessen its power. Think of the most confident people you know. Do you think they've dodged rejection their whole lives? Definitely not. The difference lies in their reaction. They use it as fuel to grow, set boundaries, and enhance their high-value life. That's the magic of flipping rejection on its head, not as an end, but a new beginning. Rejection also makes you reflect on where you're investing your energy. Are you giving your all to someone who isn't returning the favor? Trying to prove your worth to someone who doesn't see it? Rejection can be a hidden blessing. It frees you from wasting time, letting you refocus on personal growth and happiness. Here's a game-changing truth. Someone who rejects you today might regret it tomorrow. When you bounce back and use rejection as a springboard to your best self, you find undeniable success. Maybe they'll come back, or maybe someone even better will walk into your life. Either way, you're bound to win. So next time rejection hits you, don't let it crush your confidence. Instead, step back and say thank you for the clarity. That's what rejection really is. Clarity on what wasn't meant for you. Embrace this clarity and open yourself to what truly belongs in your life. Rejection is freedom. It releases you from holding on to people or things that don't serve you, pushing you toward new opportunities and relationships. Most importantly, it empowers you to become a high-value woman who knows her worth and won't settle for less. When you change how you see rejection, you don't just live through it, you thrive because of it. And that resilience and confidence, that's what makes you unforgettable and a true priority. Step 7. Expect equal effort in relationships. Have you ever found yourself totally putting in all the work in a relationship, only to realize you're the only one trying? You always text first, make the plans, bend over backwards to fit his schedule, and what do you get in return? Bare minimum. It's beyond frustrating, right? But here's the truth. People will only match your effort if you expect and demand it. One of the most empowering moves you can make in a relationship is to stop accepting less than you deserve. Reciprocity isn't about tallying who did what, it's about creating balance. It's about making sure the energy you're spilling is being matched by him. When you keep giving without getting anything back, you're teaching him it's cool to take you for granted. But when you demand that things even out, you're setting a standard that underscores your value. So what does this idea of reciprocity look like in real life? It's not about over-the-top gestures or expensive bling. It's those little day-to-day things like a text asking how your day is going instead of just waiting for you to holler first, or him making thoughtful plans because he values your time, or the consistency that shows he's as invested as you are. If you spot a lack of reciprocity, it's time to pause. This isn't about punishing him. It's about safeguarding your own energy. Think of it like this. If you keep watering a plant that never grows, you're just wasting your resources. Relationships are pretty much the same. If he's not meeting you halfway, it's a moment to rethink if this dynamic is really serving you. But here's where it can get sticky. Many of us hesitate to step back because the worry of losing him flares up. It feels counterintuitive, like putting some distance will mean losing him for good. But here's the twist. When you stop overinvesting, you shift the dynamic. You're not chasing his attention anymore. You're showing him you value yourself enough to walk away from one-sided effort, and that kind of self-respect is attractive. Let me ask you this. If the roles were flipped and someone was chasing your attention without you giving back, would you respect them more or less? Likely less. The same goes here. By giving without receiving, you're inadvertently lowering his respect for you. But when you pull back, you give him a chance to step up and meet your standards. Reciprocity acts as a test for his intentions. A guy who genuinely values you is going to notice this imbalance and work to fix it. He'll understand that he needs to match your effort if he wants you in his life. But if he's not serious, he'll probably either pull away or continue doing the bare minimum. And while that might sting, it's a blessing in disguise. It gives you the clarity to move on and focus on someone who will actually prioritize you. This principle dives deep into the psychology of self-worth. By demanding equal effort, you're mastering your emotions and not letting the fear of loss lead you around. You're taking charge of what you can control, your energy, your standards, and your boundaries, and letting go of what you can't, like his willingness to meet you halfway. This mindset not only solidifies your self-worth, but also shifts the power dynamics in your favor. Want to try something? Do a little self-assessment of your relationship. Jot down the efforts you make and compare them to what you're receiving. Are you always the one initiating contact? Are you the one making all the plans? Are you compromising more than he is? If the answer is yes, it's time to pull back on the gas. Stop doing the things he's been taking for granted. Let him feel your absence and decide if he's going to rise to the occasion. And remember, reciprocity isn't just about effort, it's about emotional investment too. Are you giving more of your vulnerability, your time, and your energy than he is? If yes, it's time to realign things. A solid relationship is a partnership, not a one-sided chase. You both deserve to feel valued and cherished. When you demand reciprocity, you're not being selfish, you're being fair. You're honoring your worth and ensuring the relationship is balanced and fulfilling. And if he can't step up to meet your standards, it's not a loss. It's a chance to redirect towards something better. So ask yourself, are you giving too much and getting too little? If so, it's time to shift gears. Step back, focus on you, and watch how the dynamic begins to change. Because the high-value woman who expects reciprocity isn't just someone he can come to when he's got nothing else. She's someone he can't afford to lose. Step 8. Using rejection as a power boost. Rejection. Just hearing that word can make your heart skip a beat. It's that punch in the gut feeling that makes you second-guess everything about yourself. Was I not enough? Did I do something wrong? But here's the real talk you need to hear. Rejection doesn't dictate your value. It's the stepping stone for becoming a high-value woman. What if, instead of letting rejection drag you down, you flipped the script and let it catapult you to the next level? First off, remember this. Rejection isn't about you personally. Think about all those times you said no to someone, not because they weren't cool, but because they just weren't your vibe. The same thing applies here. Him walking away or not making you his top priority is his choice. It's all in his head, his own baggage or fears. It's not about your worth. Rejection, it's going to happen. The real question is, how will you handle it? Are you going to let it mess with your confidence or use it to build and become stronger? This is where wisdom from Stoicism and some savvy psychology come in. Stoicism teaches us to handle life's bumps, including rejection, as growth opportunities. It's not about pretending it doesn't hurt. It's about turning that pain into power. So here's your game plan for the next time you face rejection. Hit pause. Instead of spiraling into a pit of doubt, ask yourself what lesson this serves. Maybe it's about laying down firmer boundaries, realizing not to overextend yourself when his commitment lacks. Or maybe it's just the universe making space for someone way better suited for you. Think of rejection like a reflective moment. It doesn't show your flaws, but highlights where you can grow. Do you rush in too fast? Do you ignore some red flags? Whatever it is, use this clarity to align better with your true high-value self. Remember, it's not the end of your story. It's just setting the scene for an epic next chapter. Let's pivot for a sec. Picture a guy who lets rejection eat him up, making him all bitter, needy, and validation hungry. Is that attractive? Nope. The same goes for you. How you handle rejection speaks volumes. When you meet it with grace, resilience, and confidence, you show him and the world that your worth isn't pegged to someone else's opinion. Rejection also helps you sift through those who don't see your value, letting you focus on those who do. Let's be real. Do you really want to waste time on someone who can't see how phenomenal you are? Probably not. Think of rejection as a blessing in disguise. It's the world telling you, not this one, keep moving forward. But here's the crux. Don't just survive rejection, thrive because of it. Use it as your launch pad to elevate every corner of your life. Hit the gym, throw yourself into that passion project, strengthen friendships, and invest in your growth. When you bounce back from rejection, you become magnetic because success and confidence are irresistible. Imagine this. You've been rejected. Instead of sulking, you decide to flip the narrative. Focus on your goals, live a life that makes you proud, and let that self-assurance glow. When he sees you a few months later, thriving and radiant, do you think he might regret his decision? Totally, but it's not about revenge. It's about proving to yourself that rejection can't hold you down. Rejection also gives you a chance to redefine what you want. Maybe his no shows he couldn't give you what you truly deserve. Use that insight to refine your standards. When you know what you're all about and what you won't compromise on, you become a high-value force to be reckoned with. Next time rejection shows up, don't view it as a closed door. See it as an opportunity opening. It's not failure, it's feedback. It's not an ending, it's a new beginning. Embrace this mindset and rejection will become one of your greatest allies. If this perspective has reshaped how you see rejection, give this video a thumbs up and drop a number 1 in the comments to let me know you're ready to turn rejection into your personal power boost. Don't forget to subscribe for more gems like this because the journey to becoming his priority begins with being unstoppable in your own right. Let's keep elevating one step at a time. Step 9. Be his steady rock. Picture this. Life is throwing curveballs his way, whether it's stress at work, family drama, or just the weight of daily responsibilities. He's feeling overwhelmed, unsteady, and unsure where to turn. Amid all the chaos, he craves one thing: stability. That's where you come in, not as part of the chaos, but as the calm in his storm. Guys have been told to bottle up their emotions and handle things solo. While that might work sometimes, deep down, they're looking for a safe space, a person who brings balance and grounding to their lives. When you become that emotional rock for him, you become irreplaceable. You're no longer just someone he hangs out with. You're the one he trusts to steady him when life gets tough. But let's be real, being his emotional rock doesn't mean fixing all his problems or forgetting about your own feelings. It's about showing him that you're unwavering through the ups and downs, that your confidence and sense of self stay intact no matter the chaos around you. When he sees that you're composed and centered, he'll instinctively turn to you, not because he needs saving, but because your vibe feels safe. Think about the people you lean on in tough times. Are they the ones who freak out, overreact, or make it all about themselves? Or are they the ones who listen, understand, and give off a calm strength that puts you at ease? Guys are no different. They're drawn to women who can provide that emotional steadiness, especially in an unpredictable world. So how do you get there? Start by mastering your own emotions. That's where Stoicism comes in handy. It teaches you to stay grounded, control your reactions, and focus on what you can actually influence. When you embrace this mindset, you're not swayed by his mood swings or outside pressures. You become a pillar of strength, someone who brings peace, not more chaos. Imagine he's in a bad mood, starting to pull away. Most people might react emotionally, asking what's wrong, if they did something, or why he's acting this way. While those reactions come from a place of care, they often add stress to an already tense situation. Instead, try this. Give him some space. Offer a calm and understanding presence without pushing for answers. A simple "I'm here if you want to talk" can do wonders. It shows you're supportive without being overbearing. Being his emotional rock also means not mirroring his negative energy. If he's stressed or upset, don't let it drag you down. Instead, keep your positive, steady demeanor. This doesn't mean ignoring his feelings. It means showing him you can handle the waves without getting swept away. Your calmness becomes his refuge. However, don't mix being an emotional rock with being his emotional dumping ground. If he's always bringing negativity or drama to the relationship without trying to work through it, that's a boundary issue, not a reflection of your role. Being his rock doesn't mean carrying his burdens. It means guiding him on how to navigate them without losing himself. Here's a helpful practice. When he's going through tough times, ask yourself, how can I support him while staying true to myself? Maybe it's just listening without judgment, offering a fresh perspective, or simply being present. The key is to provide stability without losing your emotional well-being. The beauty of being his emotional rock is that it creates a bond deeper than surface-level attraction. It's not about what you look like or what you say. It's about how you make him feel. When he knows he can count on you to be his steady force, even during life's storms, he won't want to let go. Ultimately, being his emotional rock is about balance. You're not there to fix him or take on his struggles as your own. You're there as a source of calm, strength, and unwavering support. And in a world full of unpredictability, that kind of presence is rare and immensely valued. Step 10. Embrace the power of rarity. Imagine this. He texts you expecting the usual quick reply because that's what he's used to. But this time you're actually caught up in your life doing things that matter to you. You're not ignoring him. You're just not making him the center of your universe. And in this moment, something interesting happens. He starts to wonder what you're up to, why you're not instantly available, and where he stands in your list of priorities. This is the magic of embracing your own rarity. Now, understand this isn't about playing hard to get or pulling strings to make him chase you. It's about genuinely respecting your own time and space. When you create a sense of rarity, you're sending a strong message that your attention isn't a given, it's something that's earned. Here's a truth bomb. People appreciate what they have to work for. Easy access? It's just not as appealing. Think of a masterpiece. Would it feel special if you could pick one up on every corner? Definitely not. The same principle holds in relationships. If you're always available and always rearranging your schedule for him, you might unintentionally be diminishing your worth in his eyes. But practicing rarity doesn't mean cutting him off or turning cold. It means keeping your independence and ensuring your world isn't all about him. When you're off chasing your passions, hitting your goals, and nurturing your friendships, scarcity becomes effortless. You're not playing pretend here. You're genuinely living your best life, one he'll need to sync with. Let's break this down into what this looks like day to day. Instead of being glued to your phone, keep your focus on what you love doing. Instead of altering your plans every time he calls, stay committed to what you've planned. You're not ghosting him. You're teaching him that your time is a premium. And trust me, once he sees that, he'll value it. But rarity isn't just about scheduling or being unavailable. It's about how much emotional energy you're handing over to. Do you find yourself constantly checking in on what he thinks of you? Or are you the one starting those deep conversations every time things feel off? If yes, maybe it's time to take a step back. Let him come to you, give him room to miss you, and let him wonder what's on your mind. This is where a little bit of emotional mastery can kick in. By holding your own emotional space and practicing calm responses, you add a layer of intrigue. You're not predictable or overly present, you become captivating. He'll start craving your company because it's not always guaranteed. Picture this moment. He texts at 10 p.m. wanting to hang out. Instead of dropping everything, you say, "I've got plans, but let's catch up soon." What just happened there? You highlighted that your time is precious and you're not always available at the drop of a hat. This small shift can really shake things up. He'll learn not to take you for granted, and that only amps up your attraction. But what if your worry creeps in? What if he backs off because you're not as present? Here's what's real. A guy who truly sees your value won't lose interest because you hold your time in high regard. If he distances himself, it's a clear sign he wasn't up for matching the effort you deserve. Better to realize that sooner rather than expending your energy on someone who doesn't get your worth. Remember, too, the idea of rarity extends to what you share. Are you laying everything on the table, your day, your feelings, your every thought? It's fine being open, but a little mystery goes a long way. Let him be curious about you. That little bit of wonder keeps things exciting. Reflect on the most intriguing characters in your favorite stories. They're not an open book from the start. They slowly unveil themselves, making you eager to learn more. Tap into that energy. You can bring that same allure into your relationships by skillfully crafting an air of mystery. Ultimately, know that rarity isn't about holding back. It's about striking a balance. It's about knowing your worth and making sure your time, energy, and attention are treasured by someone who truly sees them for what they are. When you live with this kind of scarcity, you're not just his priority. You're a special, cherished woman who commands the respect and admiration you deserve. So the next time you feel like giving too much, pause. Remind yourself of your incredible worth, the kind that deserves attention and appreciation. And the truth is, a man who truly values you will see that worth and rise to meet your standards. When that happens, everything changes. You're not just another option. You're the woman he can't let go. You've now uncovered the secrets to changing how you approach relationships and shifting the dynamic in your favor. This journey isn't about playing games, messing with emotions, or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about stepping into your power, embracing your worth, and truly being a high-value woman who commands respect, admiration, and love. Each step, whether mastering emotional independence, setting boundaries, or creating scarcity, is designed to help you reclaim your sense of self and focus on what truly matters, your happiness and fulfillment. When you live your truth, align your actions with your values, and refuse to settle for anything less than you deserve, something amazing happens. You stop chasing, you stop begging for attention. Instead, you naturally become the priority in his life. But let's make something clear. This isn't just about him. This journey is all about you. It's about crafting a life so vibrant, so full, and so aligned with your passions that whether he steps up or steps out, you're still thriving. The high-value woman who becomes his priority isn't waiting for him to choose her. She's the one who chooses herself first. And in doing so, she becomes irresistible. Imagine this. You've mastered your emotions, set boundaries that reflect your worth, and embraced the power of reciprocity. You've turned rejection into a fuel for growth, created scarcity to amplify your high value, and become his emotional anchor without losing yourself. At this point, he's no longer asking himself if you're worth his time. He's striving to prove he's worth yours. But here's the ultimate truth. This journey doesn't end with him. When you embody these principles, you're not just setting the stage for a healthy relationship, you're transforming every part of your life. Your confidence soars, your sense of purpose deepens, and you attract not only love but opportunities, friendships, and experiences that align with your highest self. So now it's your move. Take these principles and make them yours. Commit to becoming a high-value woman who prioritizes her happiness, respects her boundaries, and lives unapologetically. And as you do, watch how the world, including the men in your life, responds. If you've made it this far, you're already on your way to something truly extraordinary. Let this be the moment you decide to stop being an option and start living as the priority you were always meant to be. Remember, this isn't just about finding the right partner, it's about becoming the best version of yourself. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If these insights have resonated with you, don't forget to like this video and comment number 1 below to share your thoughts. And be sure to subscribe for more content that empowers, inspires, and guides you towards building the life and relationships you deserve. Here's to your transformation, because you're worth it. See you in the next video.